Should they not have responded?
To Israel?
Yeah. On October the 8th, should their response have been to do nothing?
Welcome back, everyone, to Z's Political Couch. On this Part 2 episode, we dive into the explosive clash between Bassem Youssef and Piers Morgan, where the two tackle the Israel-Hamas narrative with unflinching arguments and bold assertion. Bassem Youssef, known for his biting sarcasm and unapologetic honesty, tears through the layers of moral complexity Piers tries to uphold. Meanwhile, Piers finds himself juggling contradictions and struggling to keep the narrative straight. If you're here for sharp analysis, bold critiques, and a no-holds-barred breakdown for their points, you're in the right place. Stick around, because this one's intense.
Oh, it's the question of like, what would I have done, right? Which is like one of the craziest questions ever. It's like, what would I have done? What would I have done if I magically got teleported into the body of a serial
What should they
killer?
have done?
Well, again, this is asking after the fact, Piers.
But what do you think now, looking back? What would have been a better course of action? Their argument, Israel, is they went after Hamas. They've just taken out the leader of Hamas, who was literally amongst people in Rafah, which was a refugee camp area. That's where he was hiding, and they killed him there. They say that justifies them going into Rafah. It's an arguable point, obviously, but you can't deny that Sinwar was hiding there. They also say that all of what they've been doing is a response to what happened to their people, and that they have to stop the group that did that from doing it again, which they're wedded to doing.
So what is their proportionate response?
Well, that's been the question I've asked for a year.
Yeah, but like,
I don't know the answer.
That question kind of lost its validity after 1 month of the war.
Well, I think you say, for example, you've been critical of me saying I only do what I do because I'm after clicks, I'm after...
I never said that about you.
You did.
No.
No, you did.
When?
We found it.
Where?
Let me find that clip. Where is it?
Where is it? Oh,
not a clip, no, it's an interview. Hang on, where is it?
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go, yeah. So you said this.
Yeah.
You said at the Arab Media Forum in June, I don't know why people care that Piers Morgan changes his opinion.
Yes.
He's a man who seeks trends and increasing viewership. It's true.
Yes.
As he hosts people and sits with them to raise viewership numbers. Yes. His opinion isn't important at all because he only cares about what is trending and what people will talk about. So it doesn't matter that he changed his opinion. Piers is a man who has a media platform on which we appear to convey our ideas to his viewers, nothing more.
And there's nothing wrong with that. By the way, that's your job, actually, to get clicks and views. Because the question I always ask is, what do you think of
But the
Piers?
implication of
Does he change your mind? And I said, like, I don't care about him changing
I understand
his
that.
mind, because that's your job.
But the implication of what you were saying was that that's all I care about. And that I don't actually care about what I genuinely care about, which is trying to work out what the world should think about this. What is the correct proportionate response from either side to any of the things that have happened? And I think it is morally complex. You find it morally more straightforward. I find it complicated. And I've wrestled with how I should think about this. I've gone on a bit of a journey. Now, it doesn't mean that, for example, I would find common ground with you about the way the Palestinian people have been treated for many decades. I do think it's been a form of occupation.
Form of?
Yeah.
Not an occupation. Not a full-blown occupation.
As I said to Israelis when they come on, I don't know how you can argue that it's an occupation. I know you moved out in 2005, but the reality is once this war started...
They didn't move out.
Well, once they formally moved out...
You basically went out of the room and you locked the room and you basically controlled the perimeter of the room.
I was about to say, after October the 8th, when they began to turn off the water supply, the food supply, the power and so on, it was quite clear they still wield power.
But that was going on since 2006.
No, I understand.
That never stopped.
So I'm agreeing with you.
You know what dove wise...
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, clearly that is a form of occupation. Otherwise, it wouldn't have the power
This is an
to do it.
occupation, not a form.
Yeah. I mean, look...
It's like saying it's a form of terrorism.
Okay, I take that point.
Yeah.
Let's call it an occupation. And it has to end. And in my view, I've always hoped and believed there should be a two-state solution. Do you believe that is even remotely achievable?
Oh, Piers. Piers struggles to accept the term occupation and tries to sugarcoat it with terms like a form of occupation. But Bassem, call it what it is, Piers. It's an occupation. The humor here is bidding. Piers, flustered, says not a full-blown occupation, and Bassem counters with, so it's like a form of terrorism, right? This is the genius of Bassem's style. He turns Piers' word games into punchlines that explode the double standards.
I don't know, because the thing is, you created a mess. You completely destroyed all kinds of...
We say me. What do you mean?
No,
me?
not you.
Right.
I mean, I'm like you as...
Don't look at me when you say that. I'm not creating any mess.
You created the mess as like you as the stronger part in the conflict. The thing is, it's very disappointing to see. I know that you mean well, but you are trying to two-sided two-sided. I
Yeah.
found this is mistake. No, but one.
But there are two sides.
No, yes, but one side of
You're too one-sided. And understand why.
Okay.
Your wife has family in Gaza. I get it, right? You're going to be one-sided. That's why I've asked you at the start of the interview, when you look back over since 1948, do you find anything to criticize on your side? And your inability to articulate any response to that makes me think you are too one-sided. Do you accept that?
If I met Mike Tyson on the streets and I kicked him, and he responded by kicking me in the face, killing me, yes, I did. But like, he has a lethal weapon, his hands.
Yeah.
Israel is 100, 1,000 times stronger, and they have the whole of the support, all of the money.
But here's
of
my
the
analogy for you with the Mike Tyson thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you had taken thousands of people and you'd gone to Mike Tyson's house and you committed atrocities on his extended family and friends, raping them and killing them and setting people alive. Well, I know you don't believe there was any sexual abuse.
No, I don't believe.
Well, there was sexual abuse.
We can talk about that.
Well, we will come to that, but I think it's inarguable. It's been investigated by the United Nations. Established
have
by
you read the report?
Well, I've had journalists who I respect more than any in the world.
Have you read the report?
There is indisputable evidence of sexual abuse.
Okay, let's talk about that when it comes.
We will. Well, and we'll agree to differ, I'm sure. But my point is, I believe it has been established. But putting aside that, you don't dispute people were killed. You don't dispute people were set on fire. You don't dispute any of the stuff that happened on October the 7th that we saw through Hamas's own cameras, right?
Yeah,
You don't dispute what we saw with our own eyes.
I know what I've seen, and of course, and as a matter of fact, I've seen many of them. Yes, it's terrible.
Okay.
But
so my point is, if you did all that to Mike Tyson's family, and then he...
But I'm not going to be...
Well, hang on.
It's a one-to-one man. It's not 1,000 to
But
one.
if you did all that, and then he punched you in the face and killed you, would you feel that was justified?
No, but the thing is...
No?
Sir, you're trying to...
You would, wouldn't you?
You're trying to...
Well, I'm throwing your analogy back at you.
You're trying... No, that's not the wrong... I said, like, me and Mike Tyson, man to man, and he's much stronger than me. I'm not going to show up with, like, 1,000 person. So if you want to do the analogy, you need to modify the analogy again. And the thing is, I think it's like, we always ask what Israel should do, but we never ask what should the Palestinians do. Because, I mean, I know that there's like really great examples. I mean, there are some peaceful examples. There's a beautiful boy called Mido. He's 19 years old. He's an exchange student in Texas. And he was moved from one safe zone to the other, and he ended up into a safe zone, and he was farming. He had a beautiful, beautiful garden, and he was farming, and he was blogging about it. His mom died because of lack of medicine, but he continued to farm. And you know what happened to him? He was killed in an airstrike. You asked me about the Nelson Mandela, and there's a someone called Ahmed Abu Trema. He was inspired by the civil rights movements and the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, and he toured the churches and the schools and the colleges in the United States, and he came back, and Israel hit him in an airstrike, killing 5 of his family, including his son, and he was injured. If Palestinians march, they get killed. If they throw a stone at a tank, they get killed. If they sit at home quietly, someone will come in and take their home away, and they kill them. If someone just like picking up olives, that they will kill him. So what would that decide? And I don't know, like...
But it sounds to me like what you're doing, you're constructing...
That's like I'm justifying October 7th, right?
No, I'm going to put words in your mouth, but it sounds to me like you're saying, what else did you expect?
Yeah, what else did you expect? If you treat people like animals, they will behave like animals.
Piers opened by justifying Israel's response to October 7th. His argument boils down to this: what else could they have done? He leans on a notion of proportional response, but Bassem isn't having it. Bassem fires back with the reality check. We always ask what Israel should do, but we never ask what Palestinians can do. This sets the tone for the debate. Piers attempts to label it as morally complex. Feels like a weak dodge when Bassem hits him with the real-life example of Palestinians dying while farming, or just sitting in their homes. This is where the conversation pivots to the moral high ground Israel claims and how it's built on decades of unchecked violence.
So you accept they behave like animals?
Yeah, some of them did, yes. Some of them did, yes. Like, yeah,
I mean, there were 3,000 of them.
Yeah. Well,
entering at 13 different points.
So 13,000, 3,000?
3,000 Hamas at 13 entry points.
So for that, you killed 50,000 people.
Well, they killed 1,200 people. They kidnapped over 250.
No. I said like Israelis, for that, they killed 50,000
Well, hang on.
people.
I'm about to give you the numbers as we now believe them. So 1,200 people were killed, of which 400 were believed to be military. Then you had nearly 7,000 more people who were wounded, many of them irrevocably badly. You had over 250 people kidnapped, including a baby who's never been returned, Holocaust survivors, grandparents, and so on. And my question is really, I'm not sure what you would have expected Israel to do, But more pertinently, what should they have done?
Well, I don't know, Piers, because...
But you've got to have some idea. You can't just say what you did is wrong.
Yeah.
You've got to have a thing of, given what happened to them, given that huge blow to their country and to their people, given that Hamas said we're going to keep doing this to you, what should Israel have done?
So let's nuke Gaza, right? I mean, that's like...
They haven't nuked Gaza.
They
could have done.
They have dropped
They
bombs.
could have done.
Yeah,
I mean, my argument to those who say it's genocide is, if they'd wanted to, Israel has the ability to blow up the whole of Gaza now. They haven't done that.
So...
If you really are genocidal, why wouldn't you do that?
If people are still around, it's not a genocide. If monkeys are still alive, how there's no...
Well, you have 2 million people residing in Gaza, of which over 42,000 have been killed.
The conversation turns to the infamous claims about decapitated babies. Claims later debunked, but initially amplified by Western media. Piers tries to backpedal, saying it was refuted quickly. Bassem responds, really? Then why are your politicians still repeating it? Bassem is relentless, pointing out how these lies were weaponized to justify mass destruction in Gaza. When Piers tries to pivot, Bassem pulls him back with facts and sarcastic zingers like, if you don't like the word genocide, we can use another word. How about mass murder? This is a chef's kiss moment of hypocrisy on full display.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So what's
Is that genocide after a year?
So what's the threshold?
Well, it's not. My point is that if you're waging genocide, Israel has the capability to kill all 2 million people very quickly.
How about too much killing? Is that good?
I think there has been too much killing.
Yeah. How about extreme
But I don't think it's
termination of life?
I don't think it's a genocide.
I mean, if you don't like the G word, we can.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a genocide, is it?
We're wasting our time in definitions.
Well, we're not, because it's important, because what is genocidal is what Hamas has said they want to do to Israel.
What did they say to do?
They want to eradicate Israel.
Is according to their charter?
Yes.
Which charter?
Well, their original charter said that.
And then what happened in 2017?
Well, I'd rather go forward to what happened.
No. But what happened?
No, hang on.
Like because you're.
I know they rewrote the charter.
Yeah, but why don't you say that?
Because it's overtaken by what happened on October the 7th.
So it doesn't count?
Because Bassem, because
I mean, you keep telling people as if this is the status quo.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying their original charter stated eradication of Israel, and the Hamas spokesman said after October the 7th, we want to keep doing this again and again and again. He said it on camera. That is an existential threat to all Israelis.
Well, there's a lot of horrible things that Israelis say on camera, Piers. But
I agree.
But the only difference is that Israel acts on it, and they have the power to do it.
But I've already told you that I believe that Ben-Gvir and Smotrich have used genocidal language.
Them, Piers. It's not just them. And you know it's not just
them.
No,
I accept
it's a whole apparatus, a whole system.
They're the two worst offenders in the government.
But the rest of the government is terrible.
Yeah, so my question is again, and I think it's an important one, is I get that you don't think they should have done this the way they've done it, Israel. But given they had to respond, how should they have responded? Because when they responded in a more precision way, and we can come to you, I know you don't agree with me about this, but I think you criticised Bill Maher for saying that what they did with Hezbollah was military success. Well, indisputably, from a military perspective, it was successful. They managed to be very precise in targeting 3,000 members of Hezbollah at the same time through pages. As an active military strategy, it was very effective. It did kill a lot of civilians as well.
Yeah.
And that is obviously...
too bad, of course.
No, it is too bad. All civilian death is too bad. But my point is, if they had done that strategy in Gaza, where they had gone after Hamas through pages or whatever, I still think you would have said it was wrong.
Israel is the strongest part in this, and they have unlimited supply of money and power.
Yeah.
And as you say in superhero movies, with great power there's great responsibility. And the whole idea of like how could they respond, and then we sit there discussing this while Israel actually responding on a daily basis. By the time we finish this interview,
it's a valid question, isn't it? It's a valid question about how you think they should have done it differently, or you think they should have done nothing.
No, I didn't say that they said nothing. But
so
Israel has the technology and the ability to do more surgical attacks than this. But to decimate a whole region, displacing 100% of the population, I don't think we.
I think it's wrong.
Good.
I agree with you.
Good.
I do.
Good. Now, it's not on me to decide to Israel what to do. Maybe Israel could check with itself and see what had led to that. Yes, what happened is terrible, but they need to discuss. But the thing is, there's a roadblock between us, Piers, because it seems that we are far apart of actually what happened on October 7th. And I know there's a lot of people here came and talk about what happened October 7th. I would like to have a chance to tell you what, from my point of view, what me and my people think. And
tell me what you think happened.
So there are three big things that made the world accept what is happening now in Palestine. And they talk like, what will happen now? What can we get it? 3 things. The story of what they decapitated babies.
That was not true.
Good. So why didn't the Western media refute it? Why didn't they?
Well, it was refuted very quickly.
Really?
Yes.
But
very quickly.
How many times the Western media has used that media? Until today, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, is still repeating it. Until now, Benjamin Netanyahu.
It's not true.
I know, but it was.
But it has been discounted by the media.
No, not really.
It has.
Not really. And it didn't. And in the discounting and refuting, and I think when you have an apology or a retraction, it has to be.
Yeah, but I was accused of saying it. I never said it.
You said.
No, I didn't say it.
You said. It came to me as a revelation that I read about 40 murder babies. Some of them are decapitated.
Yeah, maybe in that. Yeah.
You said
which
that.
Which were early reports.
With John Collins.
Yeah.
Right.
Which were early reports.
I understand.
Which turned out not to be true.
I know, but like this. But you understand the shock, the initial shock that made the public turn a blind eye of what's happening. Like, I mean, if I was like a European, it's like, oh my God.
But I would throw back at you, Bassem, this. I don't know if you've seen all the GoPro camera footage from Hamas that they broadcast to the world, but I have seen a lot of it.
Me too.
And
I have them. I've seen them.
So I think splitting hairs, which is what I would call it, over the nature of the depravity, given the way that they openly boasted and gleefully conducted so much depravity, I just think it's a bit pointless. It's like, what's the point?
So let's talk
what you're
about
trying to say is, yes, they were barbaric. Yes, they were disgusting. They may not have done this precise thing, so therefore I give them a pass.
But that matters. I know what, because if I came here on your show and I told you 5 million children were slaughtered in Gaza, what would you tell me, Piers? You said, no, there are only 16 or 17,000 people.
Facts matter.
Because facts matter. Yeah. Because here's the difference between...
But I told you I agree with you.
But here's the thing. The difference between killing children and decapitating babies, the image of decapitating a baby, that makes his an effect.
Kidnapping a baby is okay.
Never.
But they kidnapped a baby.
You see, you got coming down to it. You're coming back to like.
No, I'm saying, what's the difference?
No, the difference is
you kidnap a baby and take it away from its family.
And you decapitate 40 babies. That's terrible, right? I mean, the thing is, both of them are terrible.
You're trying to, if you don't mind me saying, what you're trying to do is say, well, they weren't quite as medievally barbaric as that, but they did do this, and that's not as bad. And I'm saying to you, actually, it is as bad.
Yeah, one person
kidnapping a baby.
One person killed, one person kidnapped.
They did behead people.
Where?
On October the 7th.
When?
Multiple reports of beheadings.
Babies?
I didn't say babies. I said they did behead people.
Why would they?
Is beheading an adult worse or better than a baby?
Like, how many decapitated babies, Palestinians, have you seen already on television?
Yeah, way too many.
Yes.
Disgusting.
Yes. Again,
but I can say both are disgusting. Can you?
Yes.
You do?
Of course.
So you accept people were beheaded?
But again, media.
Do you accept people were beheaded on October the 7th?
I haven't seen anyone beheaded.
So no evidence of any...
I've never seen it.
What do you think happened then to all these people?
Oh, they were shot point blank. They were, some of them...
None were beheaded. You don't believe those reports?
I don't believe them, yeah.
Come on.
But like even in 1 or 2, it's terrible, of course. But like, okay, you go in... I mean, I don't understand. Like, my point is, Piers, is that on October 7th, there's a lot of very, very sensational report that made people turn a blind eye of what's going in Gaza. One of them is the beheaded babies, right?
But that was discounted so quickly.
No.
It was, I remember.
Well, so why is Mike Johnson still doing it and saying it like...
I've not seen him do that, but if he is, he's wrong.
Yeah, but many of them still. That is actually the narrative. That's the narrative. That's how we
I've not seen anyone in official...
So that's one thing. This is the decapitated. But the second thing, the Hannibal Directive. Low-key sat here in my chair, and you talked to him and you said... you read a piece of heart saying that investigation if the IDF ordered Hannibal Directive to be used, adding that they didn't know how many soldiers were killed. But it was used. And then 2 minutes later, he said, like, there's a lot of documentation. And he said, like, I just read it to you. It's never happened. No, it happened, Piers. Now, in the same report that you quoted...
I did later in the interview tell him that I knew that there had been reports in Haaretz that had happened.
Yes, and there is another...
But just to be clear, that's not been admitted by the Israeli government.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Well, they're liars.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying, I did say to Low-Key that there is reporting in Haaretz, which is one of the big Israeli media publications, that it had happened and that order had been given. It has been unequivocally denied by Israel.
Yeah,
that's my point.
I know, okay.
Right. But my point about what Hamas did is, almost all of it is indisputable because they gleefully broadcast it to the world. These things are not up for debate. They went house to house.
I never denied it, and I'm not defending it.
So trying to equivocate with
I'm not equivocating.
The scale of the barbarity.
No, the scale is important. the scale is important because if you came to today, first of all, the original number was 1,400. It was down now
down to 1,200,
and then it down to 1,129. That is the final official number.
This debate wasn't just about facts, it was a battle of perspectives. And let's be honest, Bassem Youssef owned this round. Piers Morgan, with his carefully curated, balanced approach, got shredded by Bassem's sharp wit and refusal to accept double standards. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Z's Political Couch. For more no-filter analysis of geopolitics, comment below with your thoughts. Stay tuned for more bold takes. See you on the next one.